Hello everyone, it's Brandy here with BrandysCards. I am so excited. Today is another beginner series video and we're going to talk about embossing paste. If you've never used the embossing paste, it is so much fun. You can make really cool textured backgrounds on your projects. I'm also going to show you how to use it as maybe like a shimmer on your projects as well. The embossing paste is awesome. Now it does come in both a matte finish as well as a shimmery white. The shimmery white has glitter all throughout. It is fantastic. So if you like shimmer and glitter, sparkle, anything, you're going to love the shimmery white embossing paste. So not only are we going to use the embossing paste, but we need some palette tools. Now these come in a pack of 3. I think they're $5 with Stampin' Up! And you get some different shapes. So I really like that, to have that option. Now you're also going to need some decorative masks. Now I am going to point out these masks are retired. They're no longer available. But I don't have the new masks quite yet. And so I wanted to show you this technique, and I just pulled out some of the masks that I had. But I'm going to show you in the Stampin' Up! Catalog where you can find these products. Now you're also going to need a bowl of some warm water, some warm soapy water, because the embossing paste, it can dry pretty quickly. So you want to make sure and clean your decorative masks as well as your palette tools as soon as you're done, so that you don't have any, like, sticky stuff stuck to them, because it does get pretty hard. Now, and again, it does dry pretty fast, but if you want it to dry really fast, well then you need a heat tool. You can pull that up, but you have to be really careful, as you can kind of, overheat it. So, if you can let it air dry, that's the best policy. So I'm really excited to show you the cards that I have. I've got some finished cards to show you at the end. And I'm going to show you how I made some fun backgrounds. Now, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you find my video helpful today, please be sure to click the thumbs up button and like and subscribe to BrandysCards. I have a lot more coming for you in the next few weeks. I am so excited. So why don't we go ahead and jump right in. So here is our 2022 and 23 annual catalog. And inside our Stampin' Up! Catalog here, we have all kinds of wonderful things, but on page 128 is where you're going to find these products. So you'll see right here, number 1 is the matte finish and the shimmery white embossing paste. So you can choose between the two. And then of course the palette knives and the artistic mix decorative masks. And so these are the new masks that we have available. And they just look fantastic. So I can't hardly wait to order myself a set. I haven't been able to do that yet. So really excited about that. And then of course there's our heat tool in the event that you need one of those guys. So let's just jump right in. So first off, you're going to need to protect your space. So you're going to need some grid paper or scrap. And then I have the dots. I love the dots. I do. So what you're going to do is you're going to set your paper down, and then you're going to place your decorative mask on the top. Now you could certainly use some washi tape and tack the corners down if you would like. I'm not going to do that today, just because, I'm just going to kind of show you how this product works. So you're going to peel the top portion off, and I have already been using this a bunch. You can see that. So I like both of these tools quite a lot, but I think I'm going to start out with this one. So what you're going to do is you're just going to kind of, it's supposed to be whimsical. It's supposed to kind of be, right, decorative. So you can certainly add, I think I may have moved it, did I? You could add as much of this paste as you want. So you could cover this whole thing, or you could just do a wee bit, right? So what I recommend is that you scrape any additional or excess right off. Yep, because we don't want to waste any of it, do we? So scrape that off, and then when you do, this should pull up, and oh, look at that. Isn't that fantastic? So I'm going to bring this up a little bit higher. And so that is so cool. And so that is shimmery, and you've got these fantastic little dots on there. I love that. So here, let me show you another idea. Maybe you want to use a colored cardstock. So let's say you decide to use a color cardstock. Well, you could kind of do the exact thing, as you could do the white dots on color. So I showed you the white, the white on white, which is awesome. But here is the white on, I think this is polished pink. It was just a piece of scrap paper that I had because I was just excited to show you how, how I did it, something different. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Yes, it just makes me so happy. I absolutely love that so very much. Now, I've shown it to you on white, and I've shown it now to you on white on polished pink, and you can kind of see that shimmer, hopefully. It's absolutely fantastic. But what if we wanted to add a bit more color? We wanted this to be polished pink, and we want the dots to be polished pink. Well, let me show you how you can do that. If you bring in your silicone mat, you're going to take a bit of your embossing paste and put it on your mat. And then you're going to take the color that you desire. I've got polished pink here, and I'm just going to drop just a couple drops of re-inker into my paste, and I'm going to stir it. Oh, it's kind of like frosting. It's kind of fun. All right, so we're going to leave that set for just 1 second while I grab another piece of basic white cardstock. And then what I'm going to do is set these aside so they can dry. And then I'm going to bring back in, make sure I'm in frame here, I'm going to bring back in my decorative mask. I'm going to set that back down. Let's try to get a little straighter here. I'm going to set that back down, and I'm going to use my embossing paste. Now, I want this to be whimsical. I want it to be not perfect. That's kind of what I'm after. I don't want it perfect. I kind of want some, broken circles here and there. I love the texture. The darker you could actually add more color, more re-inker if you want a darker color. So you could certainly do that. So you could do ombre effect, if you will. And so I'm just going to wipe that back off onto my silicone craft sheet. Okay, so check this out. Are you ready for this magic? Oh, it's going to be so pretty. I can't wait to show you. Oh, isn't that not the most beautiful background ever? Oh gosh, I absolutely love it. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take and put your decorative mask inside some water. And I would also wipe and clean off. You're going to need some paper towel because it does get a little messy. And I hate to waste this, but I'm going to show you the next project, and I don't want it to dry on my goodies here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in the water and let that kind of soak. Okay, so let's set this one aside and let me show you another. Oh, but first, I know you want to see the card that I created with that, don't you? I was excited, so let me show you the card that I created with this background with the polished pink. So it is, do you see this here by my side? That is the stamp set that I used, and this was the background that I chose. And check out this precious little sweetheart. Oh my gosh, I love her so much. Hi, sweet friend. And it came from the By My Side stamp set. And I colored her with some Stampin' Blends. And oh, she is just precious. Precious, precious. So that was the fun card that I created, and that is that fun textured background. So I'm going to set this aside because I am absolutely going to use those backgrounds on another occasion. So let's bring back in our scrap paper, and now let's turn our attention over to this fun design. And what I thought here was, how about we do the same thing, but maybe we'll use a different palette knife since the others are soaking, and we do the same thing. And here I'm kind of wanting to go from the corner down to the other corner. And I'm going to be, I know that I'm going to love seeing the embossing paste on this Bermuda Bay. It's absolutely going to be beautiful. I know it. I can sense it. So I think that's perfect. So I'm just kind of scraping off any excess and putting it back inside of my jar. And then here we go. Let's just pull this up. Oh, isn't that perfect? Oh my gosh, I love that too. Now I'm going to put this inside my water, okay? So that way that can kind of get, so it doesn't dry. And so I'm going to show you, this is going to set to dry. And again, you could certainly use a heat tool. Just be very ginger and careful that you don't burn it. It doesn't take but a few seconds to dry, okay? So I'm going to set this aside and I am going to show you the card that I designed using this background, and I also used this stamp set. The stamp set is called Stronger Together. And I loved The World Needs More Women Like You. And I just loved this set of ladies. It just reminds me of all my dear friends and just how much we love each other. So, and I like girl power too. So anyway, let me show you the card that I designed with this background. So here it is. Oh, isn't that fun? So that is the Stronger Together stamp set, and just one of these fun backgrounds using embossing paste, and you can kind of see that cool texture. So really cool. I added a little earring, and I also used Stampin' Blends to color this one as well. Okay, so let's say you have some embossing paste, you want to get started, but you don't have any decorative masks. So you probably have some dies, right? Some die cuts. So one of them that I pulled out was the potted succulent dies. And I decided to go ahead and die cut one of these. Let me show you the die cut. So here's the die. Here's what it looks like. So let me show you what it looks like when you add embossing paste to that. So here's the die. There's the die cut. And so what I did is I layered that on basic white. So I just put that on my white, and I did the exact same thing with my embossing paste, pulled it off, and look at that shimmery background. That is a fantastic background that I think would be beautiful behind any card. Now here it is also on Bermuda Bay. Whoops. So here it is on Bermuda Bay. Again, really fun, super cute background. Now, are you ready? The next card I'm going to show you is a card I made for the Creative 8 Retreat. I love just kind of changing things up and trying new things. So for the Creative 8 Retreat, I made another card using this potted succulent die. And check out how I colored the embossing paste. Oh, isn't that fun? So this was a card that I shared at the Creative 8 retreat. So really cool. That's just kind of another fun idea. All right, how about another idea? So here is some balmy blue, and I'm going to pull back in my palette knife, one of them. And what if, since we have holidays coming up quickly and we're kind of right in starting our holiday catalog, what if we made some snow? Yeah, so to make some snow, I am just going to make snowdrifts. And so just kind of carefully, work your way down, and then you're going to let this dry. And when you do, check out what it looks like with maybe a Christmas card or a snowman. Yeah, so isn't that fun? So you can see as it dries, it kind of looks like snow. It gives that frosted look to your card, which I think is pretty fantastic. So again, I just let that dry, and then I adhered it to my card front. All right, I have one more fun way to share the embossing paste with you. A lot of times we use our Wink Stella when we want to add that shimmer. But here's another really fun idea. So what I did is I grabbed the Peaceful Moments stamp set for my sentiment, and I also grabbed the Painted Poppies. I stamped my Painted Poppies in Memento Black, and then I colored them using my Daffodil Delight Stampin' Blends. And then after I did that, I took some of this embossing paste, and I definitely probably need my scrap down here to protect my surface, and I very lightly kind of went over them to kind of give them this beautiful shimmer. So you're going to want to just kind of work with it, and if you get too much, use your palette knife to kind of clean it off, and then you're going to let that dry. That's right, you're going to let that dry, and when it does, you are going to have a beautiful shimmery flower. Oh, I just think that is awesome. So let me show you the card that I created with that shimmery flower. So I cut the flower out, or die cut that out with the dies, and the background is stamped in Sahara sand. And then of course I stamped my little leaves and colored my flowers and added the shimmer, and then added them to the front of my card. So that is some fun ways that you can use your embossing paste. Don't be afraid to give it a try. It is pretty fantastic, and it's a lot of fun. And you never really know. I think it can be intimidating when you're like, okay, I don't really know how to use it. But once you get going and you see all of the possibilities, there is so many fun things that you can do with the embossing paste. And I'm just touching the surface. I'm hoping to share some additional ideas here with you in the future. But don't be afraid. Open it up, get in there with those palette knives. Make sure you have some water aside so you can clean up your products when you're done. But just have some fun. That's really what it's all about. Use some different dies, die cut some pieces, and then you can use that to make your different backgrounds. Just makes really, really cool textured backgrounds. So if you liked my projects today, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. Be sure to like and subscribe. And if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, please reach out to me. Go to brandyscards.com/contact and send me your email. Send me your mailing address. I'd love to send you a set of complimentary catalogs. Yeah, I love sending the catalogs to my customers. These books are beautiful idea and inspiration books. They are amazing. And so I would love to send you a set of Stampin' Up! Catalogs. If you're one of my current customers, thank you. I'm grateful for you. And I hope that I've inspired you today to go into your crafting space and pull out that embossing paste. Be sure to leave me a comment. Let me know let me know your thoughts on the embossing paste and if you've enjoyed using it. And I'd love for you to email me some of your projects too. I love to see what you're working on. So thank you so much for joining me today, everybody. Happy stamping. Bye now.